one of the things to keep in mind with this is that generally, as Bill has pointed out, there's a real lag time between when a technology is created and then those who were part of its creation when they start using it, and then when it sort of hits the wider world and is adopted by the wider world. And if it took 10 years for interactivity to even have a name, one would argue that it would take perhaps even longer for large and complex institutions to be able to even know how to use it, even though it has a name. So one of the reasons why there's not been much happening in the last 10 years with respect to the use of Web 2.0 tools, at least in the business world, is because by definition, businesses as organizations really thrive on certainty and routine. That you really don't want too much disruption, because if you do, then a lot of people are going to be stressed out. You might not be able to accomplish your goals, and you never know whether or not someone is going to come after you in a highly competitive marketplace. Well, the current environment has changed all of that, because companies, and I think that's one of the primary reasons why businesses have been slow to recognize the power of Web 2.0 interactive tools, which include social media, as you're all familiar with that. They've been slow to embrace that because they did not see it having much purpose other than maybe to communicate with customers. Well, a lot of that is now changing as companies have begun to realize that we now live in a digital environment where power is dispersed over a much larger group, and access to power is made available almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on a global scale. That's a far cry from having a couple of commercials on one of the major networks for your company and then holding all the power in terms of how you're going to take feedback from people, and if you get feedback from people, and how you're going to utilize that, if you utilize that, and how you are going to listen to what people are having to say, as opposed to whether or not you're just going to pretend to listen. So what we've discovered is not only are there few examples of the incorporation of interactive technology by businesses in terms of their business practices beyond the customer, more conventional communications office. We're dealing with fans on Facebook, or we're dealing with different groups through our Twitter communiques and so forth. There are a few examples of companies that have tried to go the extra mile, which is really to be serious and honest about listening, and be serious and honest about soliciting feedback, and be serious about trying to engage different publics in ways that have true business value as well as social value.